and that's why we need to make English a primary language. Oh, hey everyone. Thank you for joining Minions of the Zoo. My own joke. I love it. I'm your host, Johnny Hellcat, and with me today are Minions Hey Camel.
Good evening.
And Sanguine.
Good evening, all. And he says that it was his own joke. He was just going on this insane screed about how all other languages have to be eradicated from Earth, and English be the only one that's allowed to survive.
Hey, there is nothing insane about that.
Except when you gave the punishments for if someone dared utter a syllable in another language.
Well, I mean, that goes without saying.
Why would you even do that with a gerbil?
The only problem I really have is that anytime I call anywhere, the first thing they want to say to me is, to continue in Spanish, press fuck you, man.
Yep.
How about you put that, to continue in English, press 1.
There actually is a couple where you...
Or better yet, how about you just assume that I'm calling an American phone number, I want to talk to somebody in English.
Maybe.
Maybe if I call your customer service reps with the Guadalajara prefix, maybe then I want to speak Spanish.
Shit, just standardize the entire fucking thing so that if you press 1, it's always going to be Spanish. Then stop saying it.
Nah, man, give them the end. Give them the end of the list.
Make them a Spanish line.
Yeah. If you want Spanish, you got to wait until we get to like number 9. Okay. You can just sit there and listen to all the English options with no clue what the fuck's going on for a little while.
The thing that always pissed me off about it is, why the fuck did Spanish become the one that we're always doing this with? I mean, look at U.S. history. We didn't do this shit for the Irish. We didn't do this shit for the Italians. We didn't do this shit for the Chinese. We don't do this shit for any other group.
Well, I mean, they all had to take a boat. The Spanish speakers just got a moonwalk, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
I understand, Spud. He says, I'm listening, but laying down because it's hot as hell here. It's 10:30 at night right now, and it's still 80 degrees. And that is cool comparatively to the past few weeks.
Ouch.
Yeah. Ask Johnny. Last week, I think before we went live last Thursday, it was still like over 90 degrees at 10:30 at night, almost 11 o'clock.
So, Johnny, do you also like how he said that I should ask you, despite also being there, when he was talking about this last week?
Well, if you need confirmation.
Hey, I've only been awake for like a couple hours, and I'm still sober, so I can't be held responsible for not remembering something that happened 7 days ago.
I still just find it funny that you defaulted to having me ask Johnny.
Well, I just think it's funny that Johnny's sitting there doing the eyebrow raising, like,
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
The eyebrow dance. Like fucking Groucho Marx over there.
I can't do it.
I wish I could do like the wave, with the eyebrows.
Oh, the fucking like Ace Ventura.
I was thinking like how The Rock does like the one eyebrow raised.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And you just kind of like one up, and then it goes down, the other one goes up, just kind of like like a wave pool.
Mm.
Yeah.
That was a good pop. I'm not sure if it came over on the mic.
Nice and crisp.
Very nice.
Like God intended.
I'm trying a different beer that I haven't had as of yet, but sounded rather interesting. It's a TUES Blood Orange IPA.
I never got into IPAs. I had some buddies in college. They tried to, like, I'll stick with my lagers. I don't even like ale, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm normally not a fan of IPA because most places ridiculously overhop them, so all you get is fucking bitter. I like a rounded flavor to my beer, and if you're going to stress either hops or malt every fucking time for me.
So you have not been affected by the beer shortage yet?
There's a beer shortage. Who do I have to kill?
Well, I don't know if there's actually a shortage yet, but I have seen articles on Twitter talking about how there's a CO2 shortage and how that's going to affect beer.
Yeah, there's the CO2 shortage that has been going on for a while. That hits more England than it does us.
I don't know, man. Like, I've been having difficulty getting, like, Pepsi.
Damn.
Yeah. Usually I'll pick up, like, a couple of 1 liters. Mm-hmm. I don't want to get like a full 2 liter by itself, because if you drink half of it and let the other half sit, it goes flat.
Yeah, and then it's not appealing at fucking.
Yeah. So like, I'll buy a couple of 1 liters at the store if I'm going to, like, get some gas or cigarettes or whatever, and just keep them in the fridge.
Mm-hmm.
The place I normally go to, like, for over a week and a half, no Pepsi. I go to a different place, no Pepsi. I was like, okay, well, just had a hankering for them, but I can subside with something else. I usually have my list of sodas, like Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, root beer, And the only reason why Dr. Pepper is at number 2 is because that is a solid second option. Just about everywhere has Dr. Pepper.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I had to go with the backup option, but not complaining too bad. It's just like, wow, that's, when you think of like a shortage or something like that, like, they all stress like beer. I was like, okay, well, I don't really drink beer. Mm-hmm. I'm a social drinker, so the most I've drank since college has been since the past month and a half, 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Doing shots for Streamlabs donations, pretty much. That's it. So, but yeah, just like, wow, okay, there's, and we've already had tons of shortages at Walmart. It's not like pardon me. There's still aisles going when I go shopping. It's like, okay, there's nothing there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, speaking of, I am going to need to. Well, I'll get with you after the stream about that. So I guess question.
Who else was he talking to with that?
I'm not sure. I'm assuming me, because I'm the charity case around here. But
actually, that was Sanguine.
Okay. So he wants some cooking advice, I'm guessing, because we were talking about food.
Either that or science advice.
No, it's more over. Yeah, we'll get to that when we get to that. Yeah, I'm not sure. Terry's looking for advice on how quickly he wants to throw out CBD oil.
Say what?
Yeah, his mom sent him CBD oil and was wondering if
for eczema. Well, it's not going to get you high or anything. So I would just take a small amount, put it on affected areas, give it a try, see what happens, man. It may work out for you, it may not. I am not all that well versed with the CBD, to be honest with you.
The thing that I have an issue with is there's definitely things that CBD oil could do. A lot more testing needs to be done on it. And then there's a fuck ton of things that everyone's just going, CBD panacea fucking everything.
Yeah.
Dick
I hate that too.
Dick getting hard too often, slap CBD oil on it. Dick not getting hard enough, slap CBD oil on it. Are you weeping blood out of your eyes? Rub CBD oil.
It's the American version of like rhino horn, pretty much. Yeah. Or what's the thing? What's the part of the tiger they use?
Are you talking about tiger baculum?
Maybe, I don't know.
Tiger penis, the tiger penis bone.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, most mammals have a baculum. We do not. And baculum is literally dick bone.
Snub does bring up a good point. It's kind of a. I mean, Terry doesn't have to worry about losing a job, especially a federal one.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think with just about anything these days, you risk dependence. Not necessarily because it's an addictive substance or anything like that, but just the way it's been marketed is like a cure-all.
Yeah, and the whole thing is that there's two types of dependence. You have a physiological dependence that you can develop, and then you have a neurological dependence that you develop. You can develop neurological dependence to things that aren't physically addictive. A good example is physically you cannot get addicted to your own body.
I'm sorry, what?
Physically, you can't get addicted to your own body. You can't get addicted to cranking it physically.
Oh, okay. I was wondering where this whole you can't get addicted to your own body was going. It's like,
what, you mean that you don't take off a chunk and powder it up and then try to rip a line of it?
I was just like thinking like Hannibal, like he's feeding Ray Liotta his own brain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, physically you can't get addicted to your own body in that manner. But psychologically, you absolutely fucking can. So there's a lot of things that people are going, well, it's not addictive. There's no evidence that it can cause addiction. Okay, there's no evidence that can cause physiological addiction. But even that, not entirely accurate when you are talking about pot. The thing is that it can cause mental addiction. And it does that quite fucking often. So it can't cause addiction. It might not be able to cause physiological. Might not. There's some debate on that. It isn't a 100% it can't cause physical addiction. It's it might not. But again, you don't get addicted to certain things physically, but you get addicted to them mentally. So it's still something to worry about, even if physiologically you don't get addicted. It just pisses me off every time that I hear people say.
I need to see if that's real.
What?
Let me find it first. Just verify, and then I'll tell you.
Okay.
Well, in that case, I will start off with my first little shindig here.
What animal attacked what person? Or what person tried to attack what animal and then got fucked up for it?
Well, I don't think it's so much the animal, but Colorado man dives behind tree seconds before getting stomped by a massive charging bull moose.
So he wasn't of the party, is what you're saying.
Died of a heart attack? A nice reference.
0 to 100 real quick. In my mind, the moose looks like a damn dinosaur. And if you've never seen a bull moose up close, why would you want to? You know what absolute freaks these animals are. A big, massive horse-looking thing, scientific, with huge plates of spikes on their head. I mean, there's a handful of these animals you don't want to be in the open field with, and the big bull moose is one of them. And if you get too close, you missed it. Oh, there. Unlike most other animals in the deer family, it might just try to run you down. A Colorado hiker recently learned that the hard way. And there is a video.
Speaking of moose running you down, you guys see the video of the moose chasing the bear?
I did not.
Oh, I can't remember. Was it yesterday's AAA? Or Monday, maybe? I want to say it was yesterday. But yeah, they played a video. It was a baby brown bear. It was not, like a full grown one.
Mm-hmm.
But still, you got this moose, chasing this bear like along a beach, and the bear's trying to get away from it so bad that it runs into a plate glass window.
Mm-hmm.
Breaks the window, but he bounces off of it, and then keeps running off in a different direction.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Here's the. I don't know if the audio is going to play for you guys. But there's not much to audio as it is.
Yeah, I hear.
Yeah, I hear wind.
Just sitting here, mind my business, eating some grass.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you!
You can just see how fast that bull's just like, oh, you want to watch me, huh? And then let me just take this step here. And
you want to see me? You want to see me in my natural habitat, huh?
But yeah, just how casual he just pushes that branch along. And fuck you.
Mm-hmm. Moose are fucking huge. Don't fuck with moose.
I mean, how many times do Johnny and I have to tell you people, leave the fauna alone?
I mean,
give it a wide berth,
cameras have zoom for a reason.
Again, moose are fucking huge. And they're one of the more ill-tempered animals. They aren't hippopotamus bad, but they aren't exactly pleasant.
I mean, let's face it, they're the main reason why we don't fuck with Canada, all right? It's not the people, it's the moose.
Also, bears.
Apparently, they don't... Does it not go back that far? Really? So, the thing I was trying to find if it was real or not was from the World Economic Forum. There's a tweet. It says, people who have regular cold showers take 29% fewer days off work. Read more about the cool benefits of cold showers. But that was, the date on the screenshot says February 7th. And I went back through their tweets history, and it stops at May. So, cannot verify.
They're going back and purging shit.
Real or not, I just want to say, fuck you guys. I'm not taking a cold shower just so I can show up to work more often.
Yep.
If anything, they can give me more pay.
It's like I can show up to work or I can take cold showers. Which one do you want?
Exactly. And the thing is that If I were going to try to encourage people to take cold showers, I wouldn't be doing it that way. That's a terrible fucking sell. But the way that I would do it wouldn't work for what they like.
Now, see, if I were gonna do it, it'd be like, hey, if you take cold showers, you run less a risk of getting sick, which means all that PTO that you got or that you're gonna get, you don't have to waste on being sick.
Yep. Or the way that I would do it is I would just start actually teaching people about letters from a cynic. Or, sorry, letters from a Stoic by Seneca. And I'd have them read that shit because it's actually really interesting. And he advocates for cold showers as a means of not growing weak.
And I would counter that with just about any Navy SEAL who's ever written a book or hosted a podcast. Because you know what they say? Fuck cold showers.
True. But yeah, I would go about having it actually be appealing through some manner or mechanism rather than just do this so that you work harder for us. Fuck you.
And it doesn't always work, Frosted.
Yeah, about the only time I want to take and not even cold, like just cool shower is, summertime.
Yeah, when it
When I'm
falls hot.
when I'm dying.
Yeah, pretty much. And like I'm like one hair away from heat stroke. I'm gonna go take a cool shower.
Yep. I've done that many times. And it feels rather nice when it's that situation. Yeah, you don't want to take a cold shower in the middle of winter, though.
No.
And I will copy your story here.
Plagiarizing someone.
Okay, I like that meme.
Waiting to see it pop up on stream.
Johnny or me?
High on mad honey, disoriented bear cub rescued in northwest Turkey.
And it has a video along with it, too.
Istanbul.
So, was it the one honey? Which chemical does it have?
Jelly
Because
ball
those-
is what it's known in Turkish. And it says underneath there's a rhododendron honey.
Yeah, rhododendron.
Yeah. Rhododendron.
That can have hallucinogenic effects. This bear was tripping balls, guys.
Yep.
Let's see. A disoriented brown bear cub believed to have been intoxicated after eating excessive amounts of mad honey was rescued in northwestern Turkey's Duse province on Thursday. Is it Duse? That works. Footage showed the bear wobbling and whining as she sat belly up on the back of a pickup truck. Wow, how down was this bear?
If you scroll down, there's a video.
After people rescued it from rescued the visibly debilitated animal from the forest. Mad honey or Delibal in Delibal.
Just to make sure, you also heard him mangle the pronunciation of debilitated, right?
Yeah, I can't talk. I got it.
I mean, I've been doing this for years, Sanguine, so it's all kind of white noise to me at this point.
Except it almost sounded like dilated.
I said I meant I did say the B. I think at least I thought I did, but debilitated is I think it was what I was going.
At this point, Sanguine, it's got to be like excessively egregious for me to catch it. You know, those little ones just kind of slide.
Rhododendron.
Has to be someone saying Odysseus rather than Odysseus.
Odysseus.
Odysseus is the worst pronunciation I've ever heard.
Let's see here.
I had someone argue with me that Odysseus was the proper pronunciation, and I wanted to strangle them.
Oh, I have a video that will incite rage.
Well, are you gonna save the?
Oh no, we'll get to the bear.
I was gonna say is like maybe save the bear for later then.
Okay, well yeah, we'll use that as a palate cleanser.
That's what it was intended for. I don't know why you decided to lead with it.
Well, I forgot that you mentioned that this was the palate cleanser until you resaid that. But yeah, there's a fucked up bear. We'll come back to that.
Which we shall learn more about after we get enraged and we need a palate cleanser, apparently.
Let's see here. I do have a story with Beto O'Rourke trying to act like a badass.
Is this the AK-15 thing?
No.
Okay.
That just sounds
Or no,
sad.
Did you say AK-15?
I don't think so.
Somebody did.
Well,
I saw
yeah,
that
I know someone
earlier
did,
today.
like a moron. No, he was heckled. He was heckled and called out the heckler. Like everyone knows, you should do that every time.
Only if you're smarter and better at insulting. Like a comedian.
Beto O'Rourke scolds and look. Oh, it's an eagle.
The Examiner?
Yeah.
Okay.
Texas gubernatorial candidate Beto O'Rourke criticized
Robert.
Exactly. What's Beto even supposed to be?
It's supposed to be short for like
Roberto.
Yeah, Roberto. His name is Robert Francis O'Rourke. He is paler than mayonnaise. The fact that people still call him Beto with a straight face just boggles my mind.
Yeah, Beta is supposed to be a diminutive for Roberto.
All right, so Texas gubernatorial candidate Mick O'Rourke criticized the heckler. He's Irish.
I mean, we could call him Mickey, I suppose.
Mickey O'Rourke.
Calling him Mick O'Rourke, I think, makes him less Irish sounding than Robert Francis O'Rourke.
How about we just call him Bob, for the love of God? You know?
Yeah. Bobby O'Rourke.
No,
Bob
just Bob.
Yep. Bob. Okay, so Texas
Or just
gubernatorial
Bobby.
candidate. Damn it,
I think
Bobby.
Bobby works best. Yeah. Just so that every time that you hear him say something, you can just think, Hank. Damn it, Bobby.
Anyway, O'Rourke, a Democrat, as if we needed to be told, was discussing laws in the books in Texas that allowed gunmen at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde to purchase 2 semi-automatic rifles and hundreds of rounds of ammunition on his 18th birthday when he was interrupted by cackling laughter.
I still have questions about that.
Yeah,
How did this kid
have that much money?
Yeah, part-time burger flipper, living with his grandparents, somehow has the money to drop like thousands of dollars on, these rifles and hundreds of dollars on ammunition?
Lauren Bobert O'Rourke.
Bobbert. Call him Bobbert. Ooh,
I do love the video
he
of-
said a swear word.
Let's see here. O'Rourke
I
was
do
delivering.
love a video of the couple guys in the military actually going through the math of, let's get this straight. A part-time burger flipper had enough money to get, he had these weapons, they each cost this amount on the low end on these sites. You have this number of rounds, each of these costs this much, he has this much of this one, costs this much. And I just did all the math. It was like, yeah, where the fuck did this kid get like $10,000 or some shit?
Yeah, no, there's no way in hell that could add that much. But O'Rourke, who was delivering a speech in the city of Mineral Wells, Texas, responded to the heckler by calling the person a motherfucker. It may be funny to you, motherfucker, but it's not funny to me. And everyone clapped. Oh, there's a video.
Well, let's see Bobbert in his own words stand up to this evil heckler.
This might involve ear rape, so it'd be...
I'm going to make sure that now 11 weeks...
You just turned it down so low that it's inaudible. Since
we lost 19 kids and their 2 teachers shot to death with a weapon originally designed for use in combat, legally purchased by an 18-year-old who did not try to obtain one when he was 16 or 17, but followed the law that's on the books, ladies and gentlemen, that says that you can buy not one, you can buy 2 or more if you want to, AR-15s, hundreds of rounds of ammunition, and take that weapon that was originally designed for use on the battlefields in Vietnam to penetrate an enemy soldier's helmet at 500 feet and knock him down dead, up against kids at 5 feet. It may be funny to you, motherfucker, but it's not funny to me, okay?
Oh, everyone did clap.
Yeah.
Well, I think
it was after he took the knee, which is like...
I was going to say, I don't think he was laughing at, the dead people. I think he was laughing at the fact that Bobbert here is still going along with the, this was a weapon of war. It's designed for Vietnam. It's like, no.
Yep.
An AR-15 has never been used in war.
The only way that you'd be able to say that it had been is if you count what the IRA called war. Because the IRA used AR-15s, if I remember correctly.
Didn't they use M16s in Vietnam? Yeah. Where is Assassin or Cryptic when we need them? Somebody would be blowing a gasket, I bet you.
Yeah, we didn't use ARs. We've never used ARs. Like I said, the only group that I can think of that, if you want to be really generous, you could say, well, they viewed themselves as an army, and they said that they were fighting a war, is the IRA.
And did he say that it would pierce a soldier's helmet from 500 yards?
Feet. He said feet.
Feet. Okay.
But he probably meant 500 yards. I don't know. It's hard for me to tell like what he actually knows about guns and what he's just making up on the spot.
The answer is nothing and all of it.
I mean, I'll give him credit. He at least got the name right. He actually managed to get the AR-15. Okay. Because, like I said, I saw people talking about AK-15 earlier. And, like, everyone's like, oh, well, that just shows you don't know shit about guns. And somebody's coming back like, well, there actually is an AR chambered in 7.62 that can accept an AK magazine that's called an AK-15.
Let's see.
Or whatever.
Yeah, but no one was referring to that.
Or an AR-47, that's what it was called.
Chris Ballard, general manager of the Indianapolis Colts. He said the AK-15.
I'm sorry, why do we care what people with traumatic brain injuries have to say about these things that they know nothing about? I'm going to assume because he works in football, he has CTE. So why is anybody asking his opinion about politics or policy?
Because we've all decided to become absolute gormless fucks.
You really do like that word, don't you?
Gormless?
Yes.
It's a great word. And it keeps redundancy down because it would have been much more redundant to say feckless fucks. So, sub in gormless.
You know,
Now, if I was using shits, then it would have been a feckless shit.
I've literally only heard feckless used like twice, really.
Well, you've
You know,
just heard it
The Samantha
twice
Bee.
now.
Well, no. I was saying like here with you right now. I'm sure you've used it before, so I'm counting that as one instance. And Samantha B. talking about Trump's daughter.
Don't
calling
mar
her a
the
feckless
glorious word feckless by associating it with her.
Literally the first time I heard anybody using it, and I was like, okay, you know what gets me? That show lasted 7 seasons.
Yeah.
Yep.
And people are like upset that it got canceled finally. It's like, I was shocked it was still going. I thought TBS was just for like, Family Guy reruns and Big Bang Theory reruns.
See, the thing is that people are saying that they're pissed off that it's going off air, but if that many people actually watched it routinely, it wouldn't have.
Just a bunch of people complaining about something they don't watch anyway. It's like, oh my god, she was so funny. It's like, you didn't even watch the show.
Yep.
Oh, I mean, I could be wrong. That person could have been one of the 300,000 or less people that watched nightly. Maybe.
Was that high? I could have sworn it was lower than that even.
I was being generous. I'm sure it was probably under that. It's probably like 200 something. But yeah, like she was like dead last in the late night talk show ratings, pretty much.
And the only reason why she wasn't dead last, if she was, is because they were still counting in. What the fuck was the name of that one woman who bombed out of her?
Lily Singh?
Yes. Got a show and it survived 2 seasons with the entire media trying to prop its corpse up.
Of all the people on YouTube to give a TV show to,
her and that other chick.
Who was the other chick?
Amanda, whatever her.
Oh, Miranda Sings.
No, not that one. The chick with the Colonel Sanders bow tie.
Yeah. She's a YouTuber too?
I thought so.
What was she? Was she on network TV?
Yeah.
I only saw like one clip of her and I was like, oh, okay.
She took Carson Daly's spot. What a douche.
Her or Carson Daly?
Well, yes.
6 one, half dozen the other.
Don't you besmirch Matlock like that, Frosted. She was neck and neck with Matlock reruns. Well, the funny thing is, like, she was a foreigner, but I mean, only kind of. She's Canadian. Pretty much she just moved from like the attic down to like the main living area.
Which she should have never been let out of her disappointments room.
But since we don't want to talk about the CDC, you want to go on to my story from the AP, Johnny?
I was already bringing it up.
Okay.
Because, we were looking for a palate cleanser, and this definitely is not one of them. Groups get creative to help voters with ranked voting.
Now, I'm not all that familiar with ranked voting, but this is a great way to get me to never want to do it.
I ain't voting for shit if this is how you're trying to get me to do it.
Why does that look like a larger Mimi Bobek ate a smaller Mimi Bobek?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You and Gunsky riding the same wavelength there, Sanguine. Because I tweeted out, I was like, why does everything involve drag queens shaking their ass for singles now? And Alaska, seriously? They have drag queens in Alaska too?
Well, if
Come
anyone
on.
wouldn't be dressing down, it'd be the drag queens in Alaska.
Well, you'd figure there'd be enough people that had common sense to just feed them to a bear or something. It's like, no, we don't need that shit up here.
Go native, leave them out on nice flow.
Let's see here. Drag performers shimmied up and down the walkway between cafe tables as enthusiastic patrons took photos, waved cash, and filled out ballots.
Seriously, why are there always people waving singles at these fucks?
Or life choices.
I mean, on the one bright side, the one silver lining I can find on this is this had to do with voting and not kids.
You don't know what they were voting about yet.
And I hope that's not a kid back there.
Oh, you mean under the right arm fat?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's a kid, Johnny.
Underneath the bulge. The other bulge. Well, one of the bulges. This one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a kid.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure too.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. The first ranked voting election under the suite of elections changes approved by Alaska voters in 2020 will be the August 16th a special U.S. House election featuring Republican Sarah Palin and Nick Big Bitch and Democrat Mary Words.
Peltola and Begich.
Sure. Big Bitch sounded better. Organizations have gotten creative in trying to help voters understand how to cast their ballots, as the mock election featuring drag performer shows. Why?
Because apparently it would have taken too long to have made a new Schoolhouse Rock, Johnny.
Also, they have to jangle the keys for the infants somehow. I mean, for fuck's sake, if you can't just go to your voters and say, okay, this is how this shit works.
And now Assassin shows up.
Assassin, you missed Beto O'Rourke saying that.
No. Robert O'Rourke.
Yes, sorry.
Bad.
Robert Francis O'Rourke.
Bad.
Talking about how the AR-15 was used during Vietnam and was made for Vietnam. Let's see, what else? Oh, that it was made to
It was designed to penetrate an enemy soldier's helmet at 500 feet and drop him dead.
Yep.
And then he took the knee. And
Yeah, he dropped to a knee like he was lining up a shot on the VC right there in the middle of the crowd. And then he called somebody a motherfucker for laughing at him.
Yep.
Because he's a tough guy.
And everyone clapped.
Unfortunately, he's being serious. They literally clapped.
Yeah. It was cancerous as shit.
Yeah.
Assassin says the AR-15 could pierce a helmet at 500 yards with M193 55 grain.
Mm-hmm.
And someone who is not versed in military ammo size?
That's, I think, dealing with the
It's
powder?
it's a round with more powder.
Okay.
So more powder means more force. With standard civilian pack, you won't get that.
But I seriously doubt that Bobbert there knew about the M193 55 grain rounds. Oh, he just got back from the movies watching Enter the Dragon. Cool.
I had just got done watching Enter the Fat Dragon.
Okay.
It's a Donnie Yen spinoff.
Ah.
Like
Donnie Yen. That's the one that did
Hitman.
Hitman, yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, it's a
I
comedy.
was thinking I was thinking more along the lines of like what was that one Kung Fu one? It wasn't called Kung Fu.
You have to be more specific there.
Yeah, we were.
Well, see, I'm confusing it with Kung Pao, and it's not Kung Pao. It's
are you thinking
Kung Fu Hustle? That's it.
Yeah, Kung Fu Hustle.
Ah, yes.
Love that movie.
That movie's fucking amazing. It's right up there with Shaolin Soccer. Have you seen Shaolin Soccer, Camel?
I have not seen that one yet. No.
You need to watch Shaolin Soccer. It's fucking ridiculous.
Oh damn it, Johnny! You make me feel old. 2004, really?
Yeah.
That movie's almost 20 years old.
Shit.
Holy shit! I'm already getting gray in the beard. Now you're showing me all the movies I like are getting the classic status now. Oh, Sony Pictures Classic. Oh, more salt in the wound.
It's such a good movie, though.
Yeah, that's enough about strippers. Cross-dressing strippers.
But yeah, Shaolin Soccer's absolutely ridiculous. Assassin's agreeing that Shaolin Soccer's fantastic.
I tell you what, I will be in favor of ranked voting if it gets rid of that bullshit. All right? If I never have to hear about drag queens shaking their ass in the middle of the day.
See, the thing is that I'm actually for the idea of ranked, or sometimes called waterfall voting, or cascading voting is another way of referring to it, if I remember correctly, where you put your most preferred candidate first. If your vote makes it so that their bid actually fucking matters, then your vote goes to them. If your vote would not make them actually compete, then your vote goes to your next person. And if that vote doesn't make them compete, it goes to the next person. So you're able to list like 3-4 people.
Well, here's the problem I have with it, Sanguine. You need good candidates first before you sit there and have multiple choices.
Oh, you absolutely need good candidates. But what this does do is, how many times have you heard someone say, well, don't vote for them, you're throwing your vote away?
It's my vote. I'll throw it away if I want to. That argument never worked on me.
It shouldn't work on you, but it works on a fair number of people.
A fair number of people are stupid, too.
Yes, they are.
Well, here,
but
let me just wipe my ass with my vote, and then I will throw it away.
2020, I literally voted for Kanye. Fuck you, and you're throwing away your vote argument, okay?
With the cascading vote, it makes it so that if someone has someone that they're going, this person is the best option, but they aren't really viable, so I don't want to vote for them because then I'll just be throwing my vote away. It gives that person the ability to vote for who they actually want to vote for, and then if their vote wouldn't matter because that person doesn't get enough, their vote then goes to the next person that they voted for who would actually be a contender.
Hey Camel, guess where Shaolin Soccer went?
On the list.
On the list.
One of these days we'll get around to watching stuff on the list. One of these days.
So, yeah, I'm actually for the idea of ranked, cascade, waterfall, however the fuck you want to refer to it, voting, because it increases the likelihood of people actually voting for the person that they think will do the best job.
I will vote for the person who promises to leave me alone and then actually does it.
Yep.
Other than that, I'm fine with throwing my vote away. You know? No president has ever packed my lunch.
Yep.
So,
I think, in all honesty, Trump was the first president to visit Montana prior to being elected while campaigning. Which was a big step up for me.
I'm trying to remember if Trump came to Oklahoma before or after he got elected. Because I remember he did, I think he did show up in Tulsa, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he had a rally in Tulsa.
I mean, granted, he had it in Great Falls, but... Eh.
But I can't remember if it was pre or post-election. And then I remember, Biden showing up for the 100th anniversary of the race riot.
Mm-hmm.
When he started, hey, look at all these clean and eloquent people. Is it elegant or eloquent?
Eloquent.
Eloquent.
Okay.
I believe the word you're looking for is actually articulate.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
That's what he called Obama.
Yeah.
A black man who's actually clean and articulate.
Actually, Assassin, that was the press. They're the ones that started it. Talking about the Tulsa race riot. Of course, they've rebranded it in the past couple of years as the Tulsa Race Massacre. But
of course they did.
When I was growing up, it was just called a race riot.
How long before more of those incidents end up getting rebranded?
I'm sure it's already happening. It's just you won't realize it until it's something that you actually know about, and they're like, oh, hey, by the way, like, yeah, that's not what it's called. It is now. He says, no, I mean, he's old enough to have been there when it started. Almost. Almost. Now, if you'd said, like, his good friend, was it Robert Byrd? Yeah, he was definitely old enough and of the persuasion to start a race riot. He voted on a lot of stuff, Snub. Segregation bills and crime bills and all kinds of business. He was old when Prohibition was repealed.
All right, so this next bit of cancer was shared by our new friend Narwhal.
Hit me.
It's going to be painful. So.
Oh, my life is pain, Johnny. Oh God, not this again.
I got Starbies. I don't even like coffee, but I guess I'll try it. Delicious. Now let's see what goodies await.
I want to fucking die already.
Just glad, Sanguine, I don't have to hear it.
Oh no!
Did I forget to?
Well, no, you turned the volume up. It's just like on the StreamYard, it's not playing, and I've got the stream muted.
Okay, well, good. You're doing yourself a favor.
Wait, me and
Yeah,
I'm
Ooh,
listening to
a
this
cake
mentally
globe.
deficient
Wait,
Cindy
cake
Lou
pop.
Who
It
reject.
appears to be a perfect sphere. Nice. It kind of looks like a turd. First bite incoming. Delicious. Yep, this is Nums. Activate Happy Dance.
Oh. All right.
You know what? I don't know if Sanguine will get this reference. I think Johnny might, maybe. But she kind of looks like, to me, if Joanna Jędrzejczyk had CTE without ever having a fight.
Nice.
I've heard that name before.
It's a little Polish UFC fighter.
Mm-hmm.
She was it strawweight champion? Featherweight? No, not featherweight. She's like 115 pound, 120 pound champion there for a while. Cynic, cease, desist, stop.
I still say that she looks like a mentally deficient Who.
Yeah. So somebody else made that point as well. Featherweight champion. Yeah, that's right. I'm not surprised that person whines about the patriarchy, Assassin. No, I knew the first time I saw that, it's like, as soon as she said Starbies, I was like, oh, this is gonna suck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
And it did not improve at any point.
Nope.
no.
But
Although she did make me never want to eat a cake pop.
So it doesn't look like you got shit in your teeth?
Well, I mean, it looks like a turd. It's like, yeah, that's not appealing.
Mm-hmm. But that was the thing that got her to nosh down on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I misunderstood Assassin. He said, no, she is being cute and not whining about it like all the other car seat TikTokers. You and I have different definitions of cute, sir, but other than that, I agree. That voice alone was enough to revoke the cute card.
yeah, it was within the 15 milliseconds that I hit play. And I was like, yeah, I'm regretting this.
So, do you guys want to talk about the raid at all?
It's some absolute horse shit.
Yeah.
I just like the idea that it took them. Let's see, this is August, middle of August 2022. It took them over a year and a half to be like, hey, where's that nuclear shit that Trump had before he left? Huh. Do you think he nicked it? I think he nicked it. Let's go check. Of course, Frosted. Shadow Legends? No, not that raid.
The
Different
part
raid.
that I'm just not surprised at, but still depressed by, are the number of people that were saying that it'd be messed up to go after Hillary. Yeah, she had all these documents that she shouldn't have had. Yeah, she deleted a bunch of things that she shouldn't have done. Yeah, she was doing all these things that were illegal, but it would be fucked up to go after her. Are now going, yeah, it's right that we went after Trump. Yeah, he didn't have any of the documents. Yeah, he didn't do that. Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, he didn't. And they're trying to make it seem like, well, this is just showing that no one's above the law. Fuck you. You had a chance of showing no one's above the law. You decided to defend the bitch.
The one that got me was like, was his name Michael Betchloss? He's a historian that works for NBC, comparing Trump to the Rosenbergs?
The cunts that stole the nukes, yeah.
Yeah. It was Rosenberg, wasn't it?
believe so. Let me quickly double
Yeah.
check.
Was it Ethel and Julius? But yeah, it's like, they're like, oh, this would be, this would be on the same level as that. It's like, sure, okay, yeah.
Yep, Ethel and Julius. You got the names right.
I got the first names right. I was a little hazy on the last names.
Rosenberg.
Yeah.
Just pulled it up to double check. But yeah, it's absolute horseshit.
Green Badger brings up something. It's like, has that been confirmed? Did they actually raid Melania's underwear drawer? Because that would be hilarious.
I would not be surprised, but I haven't heard that.
Just an idea that, Trump is keeping like nuclear launch codes and different specs for warheads just, underneath her thong collection. Or do you guys think Melania's of an age she's wearing the granny panties now?
Form a model, I'm willing to bet still thong.
No opinion, Johnny? Okay.
Nope.
Yeah, I find it a little too convenient that we're getting close to the midterms. It's like, oh, by the way, we're raiding this guy's house because nuclear stuff. Sounds scary, right?
Mm-hmm. Raiding this guy's house, who has been working with us the entire time we've been requesting shit, has said that he'll pass back what we request. But now we need to do a raid.
Now,
She probably goes commando.
Anyway, how long do you think it's going to take for them to say, it's like, oh yeah, by the way, all the stuff that we took out of Mar-a-Lago, we didn't find anything related to nuclear weapons?
Oh, they aren't.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to. It'll, and if they do, it'll be like some Friday night news dump, be in and out of the news cycle like a fart in the wind. Nobody will remember it, pay attention to it. And if you are one of the few people who's like, hey, by the way, they didn't find jack shit, someone's gonna be like, oh, well, you're just lying because you're a Trump supporter. Like, I didn't vote for the motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't think that they're ever going to admit to it. I think the only way that they could even potentially reach a point where they would admit to it is if the Democrats get completely ousted and somehow we get a bunch of Republicans that have balls.
So never.
They start demanding, no, you did this shit. Let's see what came of it. And then once they see what came of it, go out and say, yep, this whole fat shit nothing was gained from this. That's what happened.
So never.
Yeah, like I was saying, it's pretty much never going to happen because we have a bunch of gutless wonders.
And that's something else too. Assassin brings up the Phoebe prevented lawyers from observing like they're required to. He says they were planting bugs as well as fake evidence. I saw somewhere like they were asking that the security cameras be turned off.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd heard people like, oh, they're probably planning like listening device and stuff. Like, I mean, probably a better bet they were like removing listening devices and stuff. They probably had shit in there for a good long while.
Mm-hmm.
You remember what Chuck Schumer said about the intelligence community?
Which bit?
When he was on Rachel Maddow saying how the intelligence community has, they can screw you 6 ways from Sunday if you fuck with them.
Oh yeah.
And like maybe they were going like full on Russian, like just planning the listening devices that are so sensitive they can be powered by the swaying of a building. You just leave them there indefinitely. Yeah, but that's not going to happen, Assassin. He says G-Men should be going to jail over this. The FBI, was it FBI lawyer that lied about the Carter Page FISA warrant?
Yep.
Didn't even lose his law license.
Yep. I'm at a point where
He got community service and a fine for a court officer lying to the court. Got a fine and community service.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's going to go to jail for this, even if it is proven 100% that they fucked around.
I'm at a point where I think the only way to have a functional FBI and CIA is completely demolish and rebuild from scratch.
Yeah. I mean,
there are good agents, but the entire thing has just started to rot out from its core. Figure out which agents are actually good. Figure out all that shit. They can potentially get hired back on when you restart it, but just nuke the entire department.
What was that police department that they pretty much had to do that?
It's happened to a couple different police departments.
Well, I'm trying to remember if it was... for some reason, I want to say Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Like it sounds right in my head, but it doesn't feel right coming out of my mouth. Is Hammer still in chat? Maybe he knows if it is Pennsylvania, which department it was. Maybe it's somewhere else entirely, and I'm just conflating. But yeah, like they pretty much shit canned everybody, and they hired some back.
Yep. Because that allowed them to get rid of all the shitheads. And it was the same thing that always causes issues when it comes to police departments, in my opinion. It was the union that was preventing them from being able to fire the shitheads. So they shit-canned everyone, which then allowed them to shit-can the shitheads. And they hired back on everyone but the shitheads.
I got a bug flying around in here now. Great.
Well, I have another story if we want to dig into that one.
Okay.
If you guys have a problem with your significant other, what would be your plan of action? How would you separate yourself from this person?
Hopefully in a way that didn't involve Jailhouse Orange.
I would just
Oklahoma woman gets life in prison after convincing lover to murder her past her husband.
Oh, fantastic.
No.
Oh,
I'm sorry. That mugshot is not worth life in the pen.
Quick question. Was she a former corrections officer?
Let's see here. A judge sentenced an Oklahoma woman to life in prison after she admitted to winning over the admiration of a man who was not her husband, and then convincing the man to kill her husband.
I'm not killing anybody for a bitch that's damn near 50. All right? No.
And looks like Mimi Bobek if you paid her. Why is every bitch looking like Mimi Bobek today?
Christy Evans, 49, was sentenced Wednesday by Pontotoc. All right. Pontotoc County District Judge Stephen Kessinger, who said she showed no remorse for her actions, the Oklahoman reported. You don't say. The man was a pastor.
Yeah, that doesn't mean much, honestly.
Well, that's true. In his decision, Kessinger and Evans planned the murder. Kessinger said Evans planned the murder. Oh shit.
Yeah, the judge was in on it too, Johnny.
Yeah.
It's a conspiracy.
Everyone's after the pastor. Let's see here. Evans planned the murder, provided the weapon and ammunition, and gave her lover, Khalil Square, nice, 27, of Moore, access to her home where the crime happened. As you testified, actions have consequences, the judge said Wednesday morning per the report. In April, Evans admitted to begging Square into murdering her husband, David Evans, 50, who she accused of abusing her. I was desperate, she testified at the trial, per the report. I wanted to be free from that. From what?
What I find interesting is she was so desperate that she had to find somebody else to kill the guy when she had the weapon and the ammo handy.
Mm-hmm.
In public, David Evans was a Baptist pastor that was well liked by his congregation at Harmony Church in Ada.
Wait a second. They're from Moore, and he's preaching in Ada?
How far away is that?
Couple counties. It's a drive. Moore's up around. See. Oh wait. Keep reading, Johnny. We'll talk about the geography later.
All right. Let's see here. Oh, there he is.
Hold on one second. What's up, Terry?
How's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
Let's see here. At the trial, however, it was revealed that Evans lived privately as a swinger who arranged meetings between his wife and other men in Oklahoma City, Moore, and Norman to have threesomes.
That's not swinging.
That's cucking.
Wow.
Swinging would be you're fucking someone else while your wife is fucking someone else.
No. Swinging is what kids do in the playground. I've seen it.
Yeah, except for no one's getting naked in. Well, there shouldn't be getting naked.
No one should be. No. There might be a guy in the bushes that you need to be a bit concerned about, but the kids keep their clothes on.
Well, it depends with modern schools how modern schools are. That used to be a safe bet.
Fair
Now
point.
it's questionable.
So, Johnny, it's about 60 miles from Moore to Ada. So, 2-hour round trip.
Yeah.
It's, if I could just jump in quickly. I did ask at the start, but then my mum rang, so I didn't hear if there was an answer. She sent me a CBD oil for my eczema. Is there any likelihood this is going to help, or is it fine for me to toss it?
Does your eczema cause you pain?
No.
Then probably not going to help all that much. It might help. Eczema, is that dealing with inflammation?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It might help, maybe. Take a couple drops, put it on an affected area, rub it in, see how it works. If you don't feel anything from it, toss it.
Yeah, the problem with CBD, anything, is you have some things that legitimately seems like it can treat. Then you have a fuck ton of things that people that just want to have various weed and pot-based products become legal claim that it can do.
Well, that's why I was skeptical, because I've seen so many claims about what this thing can do that it seemed more likely that they were all false than that any of them were true.
Yeah, and that's the thing. There's certain things that it does really well. It does deal with inflammation rather well.
Not good.
And it can also help with seizure disorders really well.
Okay.
Because it kind of mutes out certain signals, which helps with that. But, like I said, it's so much horse shit has been put out about it that it becomes really difficult when you're trying to go through and look at the actual science to figure out.
Yeah, well, that's why I was so skeptical. Is like, I've seen this thing claim to be able to cure cancer, for God's sake. It's like, no, I don't believe that for a second.
Yeah, it does have some benefits, but a lot of the stuff is just snake oil if they're trying to sell, with like cancer, this or that.
Yeah,
it's a mild, pain reliever that I bet to my experience.
I mean, I'll try.
Are you done with the preacher killer there, Johnny?
Yeah, we're done with that. That's.
Oh, come on! It was just about to get to the good parts.
Was there more about their cucking lifestyle that
Yes.
you're trying to get us to reach?
Yeah, apparently there is. Let's
Well,
see here. I'll go ahead, Terry.
No, I figure I'll try it for like a week and see if it does anything, and then chuck it. But yeah, no, I was just like, this seems unlikely to be like anything real. But I'm glad that you guys say that there's actually some like benefits to it. So
Yeah,
Yeah, like I said, it's good with inflammation. So it helps with a shit ton of things due to that, and it's good with helping with certain types of seizure disorders. Not every seizure disorder, but
No,
certain
well,
types of seizure disorders.
I mean, my eczema is like pretty much just inflammation. That's encouraging. I'll give it a try.
Yeah, it may have some benefits for you there. I mean, the good thing about it is there's not really any downside to it.
Yeah,
There may not be an upside to it, but it's not gonna.
it's not going to make
hurt
it
you.
worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's either
Unless
going
you
to
had
be it's either going to help or it's going to be a placebo.
Yeah, unless you have like some ridiculously rare allergy. So just like with any oil, cream, or anything like that, try it on a very small area first. Give it some time. If everything's good, then apply it to a larger area.
No, I mean, I already rubbed it on my arm, and there was no negative reaction. So I'll
Okay.
keep trying it. It's just that, is this a waste of time? Because it also stinks. So I'd rather not have my entire unit stink of cannabis oil if I can avoid it.
That's fair.
Copy that.
Yeah, Johnny, go ahead, pull the story back up.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I'll read it if you don't want to.
And just to make sure that everyone realized, when he was talking about how he'll give it a go, he was talking about the CBD oil, not the cucking lifestyle.
Correct.
So where do we leave off here? Oh, yeah. Christy Evans testified her husband forced her into sexual relations with 50 to 100 men, including Square, who she met during one of those threesomes in January 2021. Following 2 days of the sentencing trial, the prosecutor conceded the pastor was secretly a dark individual, but maintained it is a crime to plan a murder. The prosecutor claimed Christy Evans had her husband killed for his $250,000 life insurance policy. So, when I read that, she met this dude during one of those threesomes. First thing I thought of was a haunted house. Ain't no party like a Mandingo party. Let's see. Is it Joy Miskell? Evans, defense attorney. Miskell. What? Really, guys? Twice? Said the judge could modify his sentence in a year when he... Wait. I'm reading it as it's written, right? Like, I don't need to go get my glasses. This is correct, yes?
Yep.
said he could modify his sentence in a year when he reviews the case. Re-reviews.
Yeah, re-reviews is
Um,
a proper bit of English, but it's not in this case because that would be the first review rather than
Yes.
a secondary review.
yeah, that's what's like. I was an okay English student. I was like B plus. All right, wasn't terrible, but I wasn't great. I was never a grammar Nazi until I started having to read this shit aloud. If I can catch your grammatical fuck ups, you really need to hire a better editor.
I'm only a grammar Nazi because I hate the grammar Jews. That's it.
Her remorse is real, and it was from the very beginning, she told reporters, the Oklahoman reported.
And I do just have to quickly chime in, and I just had to kind of silence it slightly. It's really good that you said the grammar Jews and not the Jew grammar, because it would have sounded way too much like you just hated old Jewish women.
Well, them too.
Boobala, please. Go take a shower real quick. Every time I've met with her, there is remorse.
Wonderful facilities.
And you have to understand that she has suffered for years and years this horrific abuse. She was getting plowed like a field. How abusive was that, honestly? You don't just shake off that kind of... shake that off in a matter of days, months, weeks, or even years. Well, she's going to have plenty of time on her hands. And you have to think she still has had no kind of counseling, any kind of therapy to work through these issues of decades of abuse, she added.
Decades.
David Evans was fatally shot while he was sleeping in his home on March 22nd, 2021. Moore was charged with first-degree murder and will appear in court on August 27th.
So, I'm curious what level of evidence they have that the husband did what they're claiming he did, or if it's just the woman who planned his murder saying, I didn't plan his murder for no reason. No. He was a fucked up person. That's why I had to have him killed. Because I could very easily see that being what's happening.
And
like this, it's just one of those things. Like this could only go like in defense of a woman. You could never have that being used as a man's defense. My wife was so abusive, she made me fuck 100 other women. Okay, for years, just threesomes every other weekend.
Yeah,
I'm not a machine.
It would depend what the other women looked like as well. I mean, if they looked like...
Did you see her picture, Terry?
Yeah. No, but that's my point. Is like, if it looked like her, then you'd have some sympathy for, no. You don't know what kind of women I had to fuck.
No. She deserved it. Your Honor, not guilty.
It is actually, I think it said 35th anniversary of the first Street Fighter game.
Oh.
Nice.
Wow.
The first Street Fighter game was so bad.
It was garbage.
I never played it. I started with
No one played it. No one should play it.
I bought a Capcom collection game.
Probably the same one I bought.
It was for the PSP, and it had the first Street Fighter on there. And
Yeah.
I almost broke my PSP playing that thing.
Yeah. It is atrocious. It is like everything that was good in the second one is missing from the first one. You've got two characters. You don't even get to choose which one you play as. If you're player one, you're Ryu. If you're player two, you're Ken. And the controls are stiff and like the animations are clunky. There's nothing good about the game at all. It's just painful.
Yeah.
That sounds miserable.
Yeah.
I had to save Scum to beat it because there was an achievement in the 30th anniversary Street Fighter thing to win Street Fighter 1. I had to save Scum in the middle of a fight. Like, not before and after each round. It was like, okay, I hit him, save.
Yeah.
And, oh shit, I got hit, reload.
Yeah, there is no Raul Julia.
No Raul Julia at all in this game. This was a good...
There were no
before.
Tuesdays.
No, this was a long time before the movie was made, so...
I sent you another palate cleanser for later, Johnny.
I will check.
Yeah, that sounds miserable of a game.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
It's a good thing that they figured out what the fuck to do quickly.
Yeah, the Street Fighter 2, I mean, primitive by today's standards, obviously, but there's a reason that was the giant game that it was. That was.
I could still play Street Fighter 2 today.
Yeah. But I'm just saying that compared to modern fighting games, if you're used to certain features, that they are not in Street Fighter 2.
I think that's probably the only thing like I'm going to regret from not having kids is like at some point, I'll be like, oh, well, back in my day, we played these kind of games, son. You know?
It's still fun.
Just start whooping his ass with Ryu.
His only regret is that he won't make his kids cry by beating them in older games.
Well, yeah. I don't see why you are focusing in on that point. Also the fact that you can lie to kids and they believe you.
That is true.
Let's look at modern education.
Like that's the only thing. Like back in my day, we had to walk 3 miles to school in the snow, barefoot, uphill both ways.
I love the uphill both ways. That always made me laugh.
There is actually a way that you could have that happen.
Do you go a different way?
No. So if you have
MC
campus,
Escher designing the school,
if you have a school campus that is a split-level school campus on a series of hills, and your house is also in this same series of hills, but it's at a middle point where the first class that you have is at the high point of the school, which is above where your house is, and the last class every day is at the low part of the school, which is below where your house is.
Okay, maybe if you built your school in like Rome or San Francisco.
I've seen this fucking school. I laughed my ass off because I first thought this through just because bored and being a little shit.
So apparently Sanguine knows where my grandfather went to school. Good to know.
There you go.
And then I was an EMT in Virginia, and I went out to this one bumfuck nowhere part of the state. And I look over, and there's a split-level high school with a massive hill separating the two halves by a considerable margin. One side leads to the road heading to the other. So, and there's a residential complex over on the far side. So you could walk out up this road to the residential and then up the road to the rest of the school. It made me laugh when I saw it. It exists. It fucking exists.
Well, the best part of it was like, hearing those stories from like, my grandfather, back in my day. Well, what he didn't realize is like one day, like we actually went to where he went to school.
Yeah.
Flat as fuck.
Nice.
Like, oh, so you're a liar. Good to know. You didn't really have my nose as a kid, did you?
Everything's been a lie.
My mum used to lie to me about things, but I was too scientific, and I would like test them, and then realized that they didn't actually work the way that she said. Like she said, if you tell a lie, your tongue turns blue. It's like, okay. I stood in front of the mirror and said, 1 + 1 is 3, and then stuck my tongue out and stared at it. It's like, it's not fucking blue. that lying woman.
You keep making that face, it's going to freeze that way. So Terry spent like all week just like,
Well, yeah, it's like, she was like, if you push the button for the road crossing, like the traffic lights, every time you push it, it resets the timer, because she didn't want me like hitting it 500 times in a row. She just wanted me to stop doing it. So like, okay. And then like I pushed it, and then pushed it again, and like 2 seconds after I pushed it, the light changed. Well, she was wrong. So like I was just testing things, and like that's probably why I didn't believe her when she told me the whole Santa Claus thing. And it's like, how does he get around the world in like a single night? And it's like, oh, it's magic. No, she said, oh, it's magic. And then I said, but you told me magic doesn't exist. And like she didn't think that I would remember from like some previous conversation. And like she's like, oh. And then like I said, he's not real, is he? And she's like, you can't tell the other kids.
Nice.
See, now if it had been me,
that depends on what Santa's gonna give me.
See, if it had been me and Terry's mom's shoes, I'd been like, well, congratulations, you just killed Santa, you little shit. Go to bed.
No, I think Mum was caught.
Nobody's gonna get any presents now because you didn't believe.
No, I think she was too caught off guard. It's like if she'd seen it coming, I'm sure she would have thought of a lie to cover it. But she was like, and that's what tipped me off. It's like, oh, he's not real, is he?
But gotta learn how to think on your feet like that.
Yeah.
No, Frosted. When I was a kid, my uncle asked me how old I was. Told him I was 10. He said when I was your age, I was 11.
Nice.
I do like Stephen Wright. He's a very good comedian.
I always like that one he had about like job interview questions. Oh, I'm getting a little echo there.
Yeah, I heard that bleed as well.
I don't know.
And it's like, well, let me ask you a question. If I'm driving my car at the speed of light, I turn the headlights on. Do they work?
Yes. Do you know why?
Because Albert Einstein was able to split beer atoms with a hammer and a chisel.
I don't, but I have a feeling I'm going to find out.
So the reason why it works is because light moves at a relativistic speed, so no matter what your frame of reference is, it is always moving at the speed of light through that media away from you. So you will always perceive light as moving at the speed of light away from you, regardless of what speed you're moving at.
Cool.
They actually do touch on that in Young Einstein, which is the movie I was referencing before. Like, his girlfriend says, I wish time could stand still. And he's like, if we could move away from the clock at the speed of light, then the hands would appear to have stopped. Time would stand still.
Nice.
And he gets into an argument in the mental asylum with another mad scientist. He's like, Newton says the laws of the universe are fixed. Because Newton's wrong.
Yep.
It's just a cavalier. No, he's wrong.
And what I love about that is there's a famous quote from Einstein that he later regretted uttering, which was, God doesn't play dice with the universe.
Oh, right.
And then he continued working on his theory and just shit.
Apparently, Daddy needs a new pair of shoes, and he's been throwing them bones, huh?
Yep. It's kind of like there was another, I believe it was a mathematician, who believed that math, he had several things that he believed about math, several statements that he was trying to prove. and another mathematician ended up disproving each of them in turn. And it was in the most hilarious and kind of like, oh, that's kind of fucked manner. Because he believed that if you knew everything about a problem, then you would be able to determine if a problem could be solved. Just from looking at the problem and knowing everything except for the answer and if it could be solved, you'd be able to determine it. Person figured out that no, you can't. There's also the idea that let me quickly look up all three of these because it's actually fairly interesting.
It's one thing that's very educational about young Einstein. I now know that if there's an atomic bomb, you can defuse it with an electric guitar.
I mean, I learned from Indiana Jones you can just hide in a refrigerator.
Yeah, that's also a valid option. I'm just thinking, if only Japan had known. Like Einstein was around in what, the late 1800s, early 1900s.
He was alive during World War II.
Yeah.
And after.
Oh, yeah, well, there you go. They had access to his research. They should have been like, oh shit, get the electric guitar.
I don't know if they would have been able to defuse it while it was falling at terminal velocity, but okay.
They had planes.
Let's see.
And
so it was.
All they need is slim pickings.
Okay, he was born in 1879, says Keevan.
Yep. Yeah, he was born pre-World War I and died well after World War II.
Oh.
There you go. They've got no excuse.
So, completely different direction. Apparently, Anne Heche's family said in a statement that she is not expected to survive.
I don't know anything about what's happening with Anne Heche.
Well, short version is she, actress.
I know who she is. I don't know what she's dying of.
She had a car crash earlier a couple days ago.
Okay.
Late last week. She went speeding.
Kind of covered it last week.
Yeah, she went speeding through a residential area, crashed her little Mini Cooper into a house that, the car caught fire. She got severe burns and apparently a brain injury.
That's not good.
She's been in a coma, and now they're saying we don't expect her to pull through. So,
I mean, if she was speeding, then she kind of brought it on herself.
Well, they're investigating her for felony DUI.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah.
She had cocaine in her system, says Keevan.
Well, I mean, it's Los Angeles. Everyone has a little bit of cocaine in their system, there, don't they?
You get that just from handling the money.
Yeah. She suffered an anoxic brain injury after crashing her car into a Los Angeles home.
Good. No, I mean, I will not be sad if some actress I barely know passes away. That's not going to deeply impact my life. I think it's
not going to deeply impact my life, but I mean, it's still going to be sad that she died from something that was so avoidable.
I guess. I mean, if it's self-inflicted, I lose a lot of sympathy.
Yeah, but I mean, that's also part of the thing. Like it's it being self-inflicted could have been easily avoided too. So maybe not sad, but tragic.
Like if someone else had been like coked up and plowed into her car, I'd have a lot more sympathy than if she was the one drugged up and out of control and got herself killed.
Yeah. Now, I mean, like the person, thankfully, like she's the only casualty. But I mean, somebody did end up losing their house because this bitch drove drunk right into it.
Ooh. Well, I hope her estate has lots of money to pay for that.
I think we have a storm a-coming.
I don't know how much she was worth. Like, I don't remember the last thing she was in.
No, me neither. I couldn't tell you a single thing she was in.
She was on a remake of Psycho with Vince Vaughn.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
did not
she
see
played
that.
the Janet Leigh role.
Which
Okay.
wasn't as bad as people say it was, but it definitely wasn't the original.
It was still bad.
I mean, Vince Vaughn in Psycho, that alone has me.
And then
Vince Vaughn was not the worst part of that movie, though.
what's the name of that movie? Something Paradise? Was it Return to Paradise? Like they were in that together too, because that was being brought up in regards to like the whole Brittany Griner story a couple weeks ago.
Keith says she was in Milk Money. I don't know what that is. So
That sounds familiar, but I can't off the top of my head what it was called.
That's where like a bunch of kids pool money to hire a hooker for their dad.
Oh, okay.
What? She was in that? I thought that was Melanie Griffith.
She might have been.
Oh yeah, she says starred Melanie Griffith. Yeah, she and Ed Harris. I can't remember who the kids were, but Anne Heche was in that. Wow. Huh.
She was in 6
I
Days,
don't
7
recall
Nights.
her. She was the other prostitute. Oh, well, forgive me, Keeve. I don't recall the other prostitute who played the other prostitute in Pretty Woman either. You know? She rode in a car with Malcolm McDowell. Oh, okay, we're getting a little too in the weeds on Milk Money.
Was she married to some other woman? Was it like Ellen DeGeneres or something?
She dated Ellen DeGeneres when Ellen came out of the closet, like anybody knew. You know, anybody didn't know she was in the closet.
And then and then went batshit insane when they broke up.
Yeah.
Oh, she was the voice of Lois Lane in Doomsday.
Okay.
Oh man.
So it sounds like nothing I care about is what she was in.
Pretty much.
Oh yeah, she was in John Q, wasn't she?
In what?
John Q.
Okay, yeah.
The Denzel movie.
Yeah. I remember now. Although I recall James Woods a lot more than Anne Heche in John Q. So she played that role in John Q perfectly. Yeah, emotionless hospital administrator. Nailed it.
Let's go Anne Heche. IMDb, because it is a Johnny stream.
I'm already there.
And any of this.
Thank you for reminding me, Keeve. Hammer, do you know of a police department in Pennsylvania that pretty much had all of their cops fired? Because for some reason, I'm sure it's happened more than one location, but for some reason, my brain is stuck on Pennsylvania. And I have a feeling that I'm incorrect, but I just don't know like what search terms I need to be pulling up. Because we had a conversation earlier about police and like the FBI and whatnot.
And a link has been sent because that seems like a more.
I found one. Apparently, Anne Heche was in I Know What You Did Last Summer, and I did watch that movie. So there you go.
The fuck did she play? And I did what? Huh?
Probably
Apparently,
what's her face's mom.
The character's name was Melissa Egan. I have no idea who that was in the story, but there you go.
Well, is she like Sarah Michelle Gellar's mom or something? Or
maybe.
That's what I was thinking. Let's see here. Sarah Michelle Gellar. Nope.
1997.
Yep. So that's it. I've seen one Anne Heche movie, and it was I Know What You Did Last Summer. And I saw it in 1997, so I don't remember much about it.
Holy shit, Johnny Galecki? I don't remember him being in that movie at all.
I barely remember anything about the movie. I think I slept through it.
I mean, like I remember Jennifer Love Hewitt, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Ryan
Philippe,
yeah, Freddie Prinze Jr. I forgot Muse Watson was in it. Wow.
Bridget Wilson.
Yeah, I don't remember her either. But
I
yeah,
mean,
Johnny.
she's always
Colletti.
she's always gonna be Sonya from the Mortal Kombat movie to me, no
Fair,
matter what
fair.
other roles she takes.
Or Veronica Vaughn.
Miss Veronica Vaughn, so hot.
I mean,
to touch
sure,
the
but
hiney.
I think of her as Sonya. The fact that she was also Veronica Vaughn is true, but that's not where my brain goes when I see it.
So you're saying no milk will ever be your milk? Nothing?
So
Okay.
I just looked up the. Well, you guys have been talking about this. I was doing that dive into the thing that I've said I was going to look up. The completeness and it's completeness, correctness, and predictability were the three main things, and it was, I believe, Ernst Zermelo that has the interesting gravestone, which pretty much was saying that, yeah, this shit will be proven. It was already disproven before he died, and he knew it was disproven before he died, but it became the quote on his gravestone.
And apparently, sorry.
Kurt Gödel, that was the one who disproved it. In a rather interesting manner, he was able to disprove completeness, he was able to disprove correctness, and he was able to thus disprove predictability.
I see now Hammer's asking movie questions.
I'm surprised there's anything Hammer doesn't know about movies. He's like the movie.
With Tommy Lee Jones, was it Volcano?
Maybe.
So.
I can believe it.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, she was in Volcano. Right.
Suitable name.
Hello.
What's up, Hammer?
Hello.
It's all here. How you fellas doing?
Tickety-boo, yourself?
I cannot complain. I just had some chicken fried rice. So I'm happy boy.
Sounds good.
So what was this thing you were talking about in Pennsylvania? The entire station got fired?
I don't recall I don't recall what the location was, but for some reason my brain is wanting to say Pennsylvania.
We'll look up that wallet.
It's like I'm sitting here like, that doesn't sound right, but I can't think of somewhere else that it, I know the story is real. I just don't know where it was located.
I'm pretty keen on local government. I don't remember anything like that happened. There were 2 cops who were fired for spreading COVID-19 misinformation. That's the only thing I know of in the last 6 months.
Oh, it would have been further back than that. It would have been probably years at this point. But yeah, for some reason, I don't know. Maybe it was somewhere in the South. But for some reason, my brain keeps saying Pennsylvania. It's like, I don't think that's right.
I know a lot about.
It was right across the Delaware River from Pennsylvania. It's Camden.
It's what?
I know where Camden is. I've been in Camden. Camden,
New Jersey.
Camden,
okay.
Camden, New Jersey. So it's right next to Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
So
I was geographically close. Okay, all right.
Yep.
The toxic dump of United States, Camden, New Jersey.
Well, like, now you can understand why I was thinking Pennsylvania. Nobody wants to remember New Jersey. I mean, fuck.
And New Jersey's all concrete, steel, and toxic chemicals. Pennsylvania's just trees everywhere and old people.
Yeah, it's it's toxic
So how
waste
come everyone hates
and
New
highway
Jersey?
off ramps. Yeah, that's
Like,
that's true.
I've heard a lot
New
of
Jersey's the armpit of New York, and there's 2 things, or there's something that you need to know about New Jersey, because you have New Jersey and then you have Jersey. New Jersey has some decent parts. Jersey, fuck them.
Because like I assumed
There is
it was
nothing
like some
redeemable
sort of,
about Jersey.
I assumed it was some sort of rivalry between New York and New Jersey because like all the sitcoms I've seen that like make fun of New Jersey were set in New York. But if other people are saying fuck New Jersey, then there's obviously more to it than just a state rivalry.
Oh, I think it's funny that New York pisses on New Jersey so much, but they have to go to New Jersey to watch their New York sports teams.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Jersey, like I said, you have Jersey and you have Jersey. Jersey can be decent. Jersey is a live action fucking Fallout server.
Oh wow.
I lived right
Assassin-
across the river from. I
It
used to work
is
in Jersey.
just
I used to work in
god-awful.
Trenton.
So stay away from Jersey.
And Assassin says there's nothing redeemable about New Jersey. I'm just like, the Sopranos?
Well, that's about Jersey, but
Yeah,
actually living there and being there and working there, that's a shithole. I speak from experience.
It seems like, like even people from New Jersey are like, yeah, it's a shithole.
Yeah.
I've
Also,
never heard
fucking
anybody
know how
say
to
anything
drive.
good about Jersey.
No, me neither.
They don't know how to drive, as evidenced by Hammer's probably heard of this. The Jersey Shuffle. Are you familiar with the Jersey
I've heard the
Shuffle?
term.
Hammer? So, those of you who don't live anywhere near New Jersey, you probably have never heard of the Jersey Shuffle. The Jersey Shuffle is when you start in the left-handmost lane. You realize, oh shit, I need to get over for an exit. So you slide over into the right-handmost lane, only to realize, no, I have 2 more exits. So you slide all the way back over into the left-hand lane for another exit before sliding all the way into the right-hand lane in order to take your exit. That's the Jersey Shuffle.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Jersey drivers are kind of recognized as the worst drivers in PA. They're
Yep.
very. I mean, you really can't drive too much in New York City because traffic is awful. Same thing with LA. Most of the big cities are just packed tight, but Jersey's just decentralized enough that you get a lot of people who think that they own the road, and you end up with a lot of accidents and stuff. I think it's like the 3rd worst place to drive as far as accidents is New
I
Jersey.
can believe it.
I used to work in Jersey for the state government. I used to work for the state of New Jersey, and I lived in Pennsylvania, and I used to drive across the Trenton Makes World Takes Bridge every day, and I had to deal with people. And you'd be like driving in Pennsylvania, everybody's all cool, and it's all no problem. And as soon as you get in Jersey, someone cut you off. I was like, yeah, welcome to New Jersey.
Yeah.
Hammer just perfectly described driving from Oklahoma to Texas.
I spent some time in Texas, but I didn't really do too much driving. I flew down there to meet up with some friends. I spent 3 weeks down there, but I was getting Ubers everywhere or taxis and stuff like that. So I never really had to deal with this. Is Texas bad to drive in?
Oh, they speed a lot. And when I say speed, I mean like we're talking 20 over at least. If you're driving the speed limit as posted, you're going to get run over.
It's a big state, so you get people who are traveling from city to city, and because it's so much of a drive, people have a tendency to speed.
Now that's fine if you're like driving along the highway or whatever, I suppose. But they also don't use their blinker. Like, well, I mean, hardly anybody uses their blinker anymore. That's the biggest pet peeve of mine when driving. If you want to see me go like full on road rage, don't use your blinker in front of me. Go ahead, cut me off. But I remember driving. I drove Nana Camel down to MD Anderson one time for a checkup, and so we had to drive from Oklahoma down to Houston, and just everybody on the road just zipping right past us. I'm doing like 85 cruising, and they're just whipping past me. And then we get into like Houston, and they've got like those raised up like highways and whatnot, just a myriad of concrete and asphalt. And so like we're 50 feet above the ground driving on this road, and people are still doing like 95 like it's nothing. Just weaving in and out. It's like I'm gonna end up, me and this old woman are gonna end up like Thelma and Louising it off of this overpass. Because some shithead didn't use his blinker. So yeah, I hate driving in Texas. I love all of our Texas contingent. Poppy and Pat and everybody else. Skep, you guys are great, but your fellow statesmen need to learn how to fucking drive.
Have you guys talked about the Hawaii chicken war? Because I'm curious about what's going on there.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
That sounds like food, not necessarily a war.
Oh.
Did they learn it from you guys? Why are they
That's why I
fighting large
mentioned it.
birds?
The emus have been conspiring.
Yeah, clearly.
What is
See if I
this?
can find
This
that
chicken
post
wall.
for you here.
Apparently, there's feral chickens in Hawaii.
Okay.
So they're trying to go through and kill the wild chickens?
Yeah.
Well, the newly wild invasive chickens?
I've just got the headline. It says Hawaii is waging war on feral chickens. The chickens are winning.
God damn it! Do they have to copy Australia?
I mean, just tell the natives that these chickens are made out of spam, and it'll be done in a week. Okay.
They do have an unusually fond attitude towards. I don't get it personally. I've tried it, and I don't like it.
Like,
Okay,
there was a while when I was a kid, I thought we may have been Polynesian and not Choctaw because my mother loved spam, and I couldn't figure it out.
I
Spam
have
is
to say, spam is the only food that I've ever consumed, and I still don't know if I like it.
I do not like it. Spam
That
is
should tell you
terrible.
something, Sanguine.
Because I had fried spam
Oh God, I can
done
smell
up
it
like
already.
fish and chips.
Ugh.
So, fish batter from fish and chips around spam, fried up, beautifully crispy, fantastic texture to it. That
Johnny,
know,
I hear Fortunate
it had
Son.
a fantastic texture. But when it came to eating it, I took the first bite, tasted amazing. Took the second bite, tasted like absolute shit. Was confused, so took a third bite to be the decider, tasted fantastic. Took a fourth bite, absolute shit. It kept on alternating. Every other bite was god-awful. Every other bite was heaven. I have no fucking clue whether I hate it or I love it. And it is just a food that I know I've consumed, and it confuses me.
It's too greasy for me.
The fact that half of the bites Sanguine took, he says he liked, makes me question his palate. Right?
How dare you fucking question my palate.
Hey, I'm not the one who said half the time I like spam. All right?
Every time I hear spam, I think of Monty Python.
Yeah.
Can't help it.
Spam a lot.
Spam. Spam, wonderful spam.
I like I said, as soon as he started talking about like spam being cooked, I could smell it, and that. I'm just having like Vietnam flashbacks right now.
Look what Kiradam said in chat.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that a little while ago. That officially declared brain dead. That's damn. 53
Well, she was
years old.
sitting up at the accident. She was sitting up.
Yeah, she lost consciousness in the ambulance though. She was conscious when they pulled her out, but she lost consciousness by the time they got her to the hospital.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess she burnt that bad that she couldn't handle it and just.
They said she had severe burns, and the report I saw a little while ago that I started talking about it was she had a noxious brain injury.
Wow.
I don't know exactly what that means. Maybe Sanguine could fill us in, but it didn't sound good.
That's not.
But I found something else that will infuriate. So you might want to go ahead and get that other palate cleanser ready, Johnny.
Yep.
Are we going back to the high bear after this?
To the what? No. Well, yeah, we still have the video from that too. Actually, we might have to double up. Do you want me to drop the link for this one so we can put it on screen, or you want to just go ahead and read it? Because there's nothing really to look at.
You go ahead.
Okay. Florida
Asking
preschool.
Johnny if he wants to read.
No. I was going to read it. I just want to know if you want to put it on screen.
Okay.
This is from Channel 2 News here in Oklahoma, and I don't know why we get so many. They post so many different stories from out of state. I've seen like South Carolina and Florida and California, yada yada. Florida preschool teacher caught punching 4-year-old in the head, sheriff's office said. Ashley Richards, 32, is charged with felony child abuse. Is it Dunedin, Florida? Dunedin? A preschool teacher near Tampa, Florida, faces a charge of felony child abuse after the sheriff's office said she was seen punching a 4-year-old child in the head on Wednesday. The sheriff's office said deputies were called to the Kindercare Learning Center in Dunedin, however. The witness told authorities they heard screaming coming from the playground and saw Ashley Richards, 32, repeatedly punching the toddler in the back and side of the head with both an open and closed fist. The sheriff's office said Richards was also seen pushing the child to the ground and yelling, "Do you want me to hit you?" Oh my God!
Fuck this woman, bury her.
Well, then all they've got to do is say, no thanks, and then the problem is solved.
The witness captured part of the incident on their cell phone, authorities said. I'm sorry. Unless this witness was another toddler, why did they stop this bitch?
Yep.
You gotta record this for posterity? Post it to the World Star later? What the fuck, lady? According to the arrest report, the witness video captured Richards pulling the toddler over her leg to lay him down on her lap before she punched what appears to be the child's head with a closed fist multiple times. The report said she then forcefully pushed the victim to the ground. The toddler told authorities he got in trouble for fighting with his brother, and he was hit by Richards in the back of his head and eye as punishment, according to the arrest report.
Again, bury this bitch.
Do you want me to hit you? Oh my God. This is a preschool teacher? Fucking hell.
Good Lord.
It reminds me of the fucked up situation from, what was it, 2-3 years ago? Out of Minnesota, the daycare person that was hanging a child.
See, now that feels like it should ring more bells than it does.
I'll be right back. I gotta batten down the hatches.
They were hanging a child?
Let me quickly double check, make sure that I'm remembering it right, because I'm remembering that they were fucking hanging a child.
I'm not questioning your memory. I think we've already established mine's a little hazy.
So when you say they were hanging the child, was he with Mr. Cooper? Because I saw that TV show in the 90s. It was actually pretty good.
No, it was with an electrical cord, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, this definitely feels like I should be remembering more of this story than just what you've said so far. Like, yeah, that's wild. But yeah, that's what gets me. This chick is a year younger than me, and she's sitting there just waylaying a 4-year-old.
Okay, found the thing. It was from 2018. She got probation. Daycare owner who tried to hang toddler from noose gets probation.
How? Why?
Let's see, sentenced Monday to 10 years of probation after pleading guilty to trying to kill a toddler in her home by hanging him from a noose. And I was right, this was Minnesota. A daycare owner who pleaded guilty to attempted murder for trying to kill a toddler by hanging him from a noose in her basement was sentenced Monday to probation.
So they pled guilty to attempted murder, and they got probation.
Was sentenced in Hennepin County Court in Minnesota to 10 years, the Star Tribune reported. She also was sentenced to mandatory mental health treatment and will be on electric home monitoring for 2 months.
Is the daycare center in her home?
Yes, it was in her home. In November of 2016, a father was dropping off his son at her home for childcare, a criminal complaint stated. She led him to the basement. Oh, and because this is all settled, the last name was Karias, Karia. She led him to the basement where he saw a toddler hanging from a noose. The father released the 16-month-old and fled. The child survived. So it was a 16-month-old that she was hanging.
Oh, good fucking Lord.
Kariah reportedly fled the scene in her minivan, and while doing so, hit a pedestrian, another driver, and a bicyclist. for which she pleaded guilty to criminal vehicular operation. They, of course, have a picture of her crying as she gets sentenced.
She hit everything between point A and point B.
She was taken into custody when police found her.
She's a woman.
Yep. She was taken into custody when police found her preparing to jump off a highway overpass, according to the newspaper. Judge J. Quam said in argument with doctors that Kiara was a low risk to reoffend, calling her actions the perfect storm of factors unlikely to ever be repeated. The fuck? Kiara's defense attorney, Brockton Hunter, said Kiara, who has spent 20 months in jail since the incident, should have been her fucking life, and she should have been buried underneath it, never allowed to leave, and will get credit for her time already served, will leave jail no later than Tuesday. Kiara promised to follow probation and said in court she was glad no one died. Her attorney said Kiara's actions were aggravated, if not wholly caused by abuse from Natalia's husband.
Wow.
So they're blaming the husband for her hanging a 16-month-old. Which, the fuck?
Yeah, woman attempts to kill, toddler, man to blame.
Yep.
One thing that I just saw in regards to the going back to the Anne Heche deal, Keith put it in chat, and I thought it was just a deal about, like somebody's going to say this. No, somebody actually did say it already. Tragically, she wasn't able to get the help she needed. If a successful, wealthy white woman can't get the proper help, what hope is there for the rest of us? # improve mental health.
Go fuck yourself.
Right? And like, have you ever heard the phrase, you can lead a horse to water? Because it might have something to do with that help that she didn't get. And how does bringing her race and tax bracket factor in here? There are plenty of poor people who manage to get themselves cleaned up.
No, but because she's white and there's systemic racism, if she of the superior white race can't even get help, then those words that I can't say on Minions, what hope do they have?
Well,
and to make this clear to any YouTube moderator who happened upon this conversation, he's stating what they believe, not what he believes.
Correct.
There's a fucking difference.
Huh.
Yes.
Okay, I gotta stop looking at Twitter.
So what did Twitter just expose you to?
You really want to know, Sanguine?
Yes.
All right, 1 second. I'm just gonna send you a DM real fast here.
Guessing on Twitter?
And
yes.
ask you not.
You go ahead and feast your eyes on that, sir.
This is the tech equivalent of a courtesy sniff. Let's see what the hell I was just sent.
I'm waiting for the reaction.
Pull up Twitter.
And now we wait.
Window.
Yeah, Johnny, you might want to go ahead and fire up one of them. Give us the stone bear real fast.
Well, I was wondering if you wanted to go with the dancer first or the stone bear.
Go with the stone bear. Save the other one for last.
Okay, because I couldn't get the video from the link you sent me. I actually had to go search it on the different. But just in this still alone, and just the still, it looks like a guy in a bear costume.
Looks like Teddy, huh?
Yeah.
That bear has seen some shit, man.
Burying on his day off.
I've been here for 3 days.
Okay, that.
Allah'a bağlıymıştı diye. Şuna bak.
If you put a pierogi in one of his paws, I would have swore that was
Koray
Teddy.
görüyor musun ağayı? Oturuyor. Az yedin balığı.
He's breathing real hard.
Bal mı
Abi.
tuttu lan seni? Bal tuttuysa canlanır mı birazdan ama bizim?
Vallahi canlanıyor.
Tripping balls.
Birazdan
Apparently,
kendine
you
geldin
have
var
what
ya.
they call Mad honey.
Saldırı valla.
And it's,
Koray nasıl lan?
hallucinogenic.
It's honey that has a hallucinogenic compound in it.
It's gonna go into more of the same honey.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not right away, but give it a while. Be like, man, that was something.
Look at that
The
face.
rest of the
That
honey.
bear is going to be the anti-Winnie the Pooh as soon as he sobers up.
And Camel, you just sent me what looks to be people cooking in the which fucking Resident Evil game was it where it was the rednecks? That was 7, right?
I don't know.
I think it was 7. I think 8's the village.
I think
Is
6
that-
was
80
Africa.
80's village, I think, because of the VII, and they tried to turn that into the word village.
Mm.
Yep. So it was someone cooking in what appeared to be the kitchen of Resident Evil 7.
All I know is I need a tetanus shot just from looking at that place.
Yeah, it was filthy. And it looked like they were scooping out dirty pond water.
Yeah, soup's on. Yeah, that was just disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
But we are going to close out with parting thoughts.
Oh,
And
you're not gonna.
I'll end it with the
Okay.
the thing. So, all right, we'll start with Hammer since you're the last one in.
That would be my standard. No matter where you go, there you are.
Right. And Sanguine.
Passionate about something, make sure that you devour it. Don't let it devour you.
All right. And Terry.
Apparently, wherever I go, their hammer is.
Oh, you guys should mention Monday.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Is that going to be Quizzes Day or is that going to be?
Well, Monday is Quizzes Day, but I will be running the stream.
Okay.
Because
Is
we'll
it
be
gonna be
in the
as,
middle of the woods.
Yeah, and isn't it the
5-year.
5-year? Yeah.
Oh wow. What time is that going to be?
The same as Quiz always does, 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Or he does at 8. I always do it at 9. Close enough.
Yep. It's 9 your time, 8 his time.
Yeah. But I sent out a bunch of DMs. Let me see if I can bring up my Twitter real quick. See who replied and who's going to stop by.
So yeah, any confirmations?
Yeah, I did. Just gotta find where we are. Alex said to give him a call later, but he thinks he can make it. Monkey said he'll probably be there. Tail feature, Polydub, VJack Cochran. Frosted said he'd be there. Next 6 minutes is going to be there. I have a bunch of people that haven't replied yet. Fritz, Jacob Jet, Platty, Weibo, Bloodwing, Satsu, Scribe. Yeah, so I mean, there's a bunch of people who just haven't gotten around to it. And I'll put pressure on them later to answer me. I'll either get on their streams or DM them again, or send them a tweet or something like that and get their attention, because a lot of people don't really check their DMs very much on Twitter. So, but yeah, I'm gonna try to get a bunch of people to pass through and say hey and celebrate our 5th anniversary. So, 5 years, gentlemen. We've been doing this for 5 long and lustrous years.
It's been a fun time with it thus far.
Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern.
And then Camel?
I don't really have a standard one, like Sanguine or Hammer. So I guess I'll say there are two types of people in this world: those who can extrapolate from incomplete data, and
Nice.
Well played. And I am going to end with this bit of nostalgia here. For those of you who know the reference. There's no audio to it. Oh, there is audio to it?
oh yeah,
If there's... I'm not sure if that's going to be copyrighted, but...
I can't hear it anyway.
well, I remuted it, so...
Oh.
I'm pretty sure it would be copyrighted because it's Disney.
So, yeah.
Yeah. You get 7 seconds, so it's okay.
I turned it up and then turned it down, so we're good to go.
Yeah, you can get away with up to 7 seconds, as I understand it, according to YouTube. But
Frosted, Dad, the perfect cast.
I play copyrighted music all the time in my stream. It just gets you. It doesn't get you a strike. It just gets you a
In that case,
It's
Johnny,
a
let it
content
rip.
warning.
claim. Yeah.
Well, it is Disney. I'm not going to fuck around with it.
Probably for the best.
But
Oh yeah, if you don't know the reference, go watch the Goofy movie.
Yep.
Yep,
Go watch what?
the Goofy movie.
Oh, right.
But with that, the zoo is closed. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Well,
Bye, everybody.
Now I gotta find where I put the screen.